The early fears were that this was an active shooter scenario. That's what officers would immediately think. It was not, fortunately, but officers had to react as if it were.
Fox 10's Marissa Sarback live tonight with exactly how those officers respond and train for something like this.
John, Christina, it really is something where, you prepare for the worst, you hope for the best. But in these types of situations, in terms of a possible active shooter or any type of possible public safety threat, you have to prepare. And that means time is key here. Time is the most important element.
After what happened in Columbine, it was paramount for those first responders not to sit and try to organize, but to respond immediately.
First, officers have to identify and neutralize the threat.
Then we could go back and provide triage to those who were injured. But the longer that we waited to go in, or as we tried to help people as we move forward, it made it complicated because more and more people were at risk.
Today was not an active shooter situation, but former DPS Director Colonel Frank Milstead says officers in this type of situation would immediately respond as if it was.
But there were people that had sheltered in place, and those responders had to go door to door, room to room, store to store, to make sure that there was nobody else hiding that was a threat, and to liberate those who had sheltered in place and told them it was safe to come out.
At this point, other departments respond using what they call an incident command system, or ICS.
And they set up an inner and an outer perimeter. They set up staging, they set up traffic control, and they have this huge response of law enforcement coming to a singular scene.
They keep radio traffic to a minimum to keep lines of communication free and clear, and they ask everyone to stay out of the way.
The best thing that they can do is they either try to communicate with their loved ones through cell phone technology or through texting, and maybe provide them information they don't have. But to respond to the scene or to try to get into the scene just complicates matters for law enforcement.
That really is always the most crucial part of the puzzle. Everyone always wants to know what they can do to help, and the simple answer is stay out of the way for law enforcement and just let them do their jobs. Going back inside would just mean that there are more people to protect, and you want to make their job as easy as possible so they can get that threat neutralized if we deal with a situation quite like this one. We are live in Glendale. Marissa Sarback, Fox 10 News.